Okay, and our last but not least, pair USD JPY on H4. Okay, H4 is going to close in 2 minutes, so we are going to mark our key levels together. As a trader, right, this is for beginners and newbies too. When you open the charts and you go to H4, whether actually any time frame that you want to trade in, you have to take note of where the current price is, then try to find the nearest supply and demand zones, right? So when we use engulfings, you can see that there are many engulfings, but when you gain experience through it, you will start to see some are just noises. Like around here, they're just noises. So you take over here and here, excuse me. But that just comes with experience, so don't fret. I will be there to teach you and guide you through it, okay? But let's just take this as an example. Because we have our supply zone over here and our demand zone over here, supply being sell, demand being buy, okay? So this and this is 500 pips. I just measured 500 pips distance, right? But as intraday traders, sometimes it does not reach, right? And these zones, actually, we were using this for 2 weeks straight already. So we can still use it because the price has not broken it, okay? But since this is 500 pips, they're far from each other, 500 pips, we want something that is much closer. So on H4, USD JPY actually created new zones, right? So we are marking. This is an engulfing buy that failed. Why did it fail? Because the market opened over here, shot all the way up and closed below, right? It filled up the wick over here, filled up the gap before closing below. So it has tested this zone, but did not close within the zone to find any engulfing sells were made in this. Then we have our potential buy zone over here because this is an engulfing sell that failed over here. In the process of failing, right, the H4 broke, it created an engulfing buy that closed within the zone. So you have your A, your B. Your engulfing fail meets engulfing buy. Right? So now that you have that, you switch from H4 to M15. Right? We pair H4 with M15. Then what do? We scroll to the start of that zone. Then we have to use our naked eye. Imagine a price area where the price dangles or plays around with support and resistance. So you can either see a lot of wicks or rejections over here, right? Wick, wick. This is support, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 even resistance over here. Okay? So if I see that, let's say I use a box to mark it like this. Like this. Right? There's support over here. Price came back, rejections, leaving wicks. So resistance, resistance broke up is support, resistance, resistance, resistance. So we know that the price is playing around here. Then we line that up from top to bottom like this. And we look towards the left of the higher time frame zone, the bigger time frame, right? This one. We look towards the left and in between these lines to find an engulfing. As much as possible, and as a newbie, try to find an engulfing that happened with its whole body and wicks included happened within these two lines. All right, so you can see this is an engulfing cell, body inside, even the wicks are inside. So now that I have that, I am going to adjust my lines like this. And now, ta-da, we have our key level to play with. So you can see that over here, right, dropped. When the price comes back, if it breaks above and comes back and respects it, it will just leave wicks. Pokes, go. Breaks, pokes, drop. So even over here, you can see it plays around here. If it breaks above, it will try to keep above this, and if it respects it, it will just fly. Okay, so that is our key level for this particular zone right here. Now let's try this on this one. Okay, again, with your naked eye, imagine an area where the price plays with support and resistance. So you can see over here, right? Bounce, bounce, bounce up. Then if it breaks below that imaginary box, resistance, 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 and if it breaks above, it will just fly. So if I draw a box like this, like this, and line it. Like this. It doesn't have to be as precise, but try to make it, especially if you are a beginner, just try. Okay, so now I look towards the left to find an engulfing that happened within the zone. So I see my engulfing sell over here, right? The sell candle closed below this candle's low. Hence, it's an engulfing sell. So now that I have that, I will adjust my lines like this. From the tippy top to the lowest of that candle. And now I have my key level. Right? So you will see if you scroll, right? Go with my arrow, you will see that the price will play around it. Plays around, drops. Pokes, drops. So now we have our key level for UJ. If we switch back to H4, what can UJ do? Let's just delete this real quick. Oops. Yep, delete the arrows real quick. So what can UJ do? If I screenshot it like this, UJ, now that we've drawn in our key levels together, current price is over here. If H4 decides to climb up into our zone, our sell zone, and respects it, then potentially it could drop back down. But if it breaks the zone, then potentially it could go even higher. Vice versa, if it drops down into our buy zone and H4 respects it, then potentially it could bounce back up. But if it breaks the zone, then we know it potentially could go even lower, right? So other than that, right, a reason why we drew these zones also, other than it just appeared, it's closest to the current price and it's a Monday, so the movement might be a bit slow, you might not get much, hence you can look for the nearer zones to trade in. Okay, so that's for UJ. Again, it's Monday. Please trade smart, trade wisely. Don't be greedy. Don't whack your account. Oops. Don't whack your account. All right. If anything, just message me and I'll try to help you as best as I can. All right. Have a fine Monday. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.